Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In case you're new here, karibu sana na wakaribisha wote, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. For the new joiners, my name is Jen, and welcome to Jamii Chia Shop. And on today's video, we're just going to talk something totally different with my previous video. On today's video, we're just going to talk basic things to consider before moving into other people's country, before moving overseas, and they're common things that you need to decide before you move into those countries. In general, most of the people, millions of the people have traveled to different countries. Some have traveled to work there, some have traveled to look for a job, some have traveled there because of their loved ones, for the culture change, name them, for education, for internship. Everybody have the reason why they are traveling to those countries they are going to visit. But on today's video, we're just going to take things to consider before moving to those countries, because moving to people's country is totally different than visiting the destination. When you decide to move to those people's country, definitely there are some things that you need to consider. That is, in case you're going to settle there. If you visit it, you can just visit and go back. But when you decide to go to visit those countries and you're deciding like, I will go to this country and I'm going to settle to that country, there are some things that you need to consider before you move to those countries. And on today's video, we'll just take the basic things that you need to consider before you move into those countries. And the first things that you're going to check on is work and money. In case you plan to visit a certain country in terms to work, let's say for example, if you're going to look for a job to a certain country, make sure you have enough money with you, because you are going to other people's country. So wherever you will go there, something might happen to you, because you need to look for a job. Do you have enough money to help you to settle the time you'll be there, to help you to pay for the house rent in case you don't know anybody there? And the other things that you need to consider, let's say you are going there to work, you get a job to go to work to that country. Do you have enough finances to help you for the first months until you get your first paycheck? These are the things you need to consider. Mostly money, finances, always good to check them, because you never know what will happen to you when you get to those countries. You might find whatever you were expecting, not what you get, so you decide you need to go back to your country. And if you don't have the money, you'll be forced to get stuck to other people's country and you'll suffer a lot. I will not tell you moving to other people's countries not hard. For sure there's up and downs, so it's always good to have something on your pocket before you move into those people's country. Always is good. Check where in your finance, do I have enough saving to help me when I move into there? That in case you don't have anybody in that country you are visiting, always plan ahead. Have something on your pocket, because you need to eat, you need to travel to different places looking for a job, for those who are looking for a job. And at least you need to buy like an airtime to call your family back home. You need to buy a line. Some country they will give you a line for free, but some they will not, so you will be forced to buy a line for you to call back at home. So it's always good to have something on your pocket before you travel to other people's country. The other things that you're going to check is visa. Do you have visa? Is the country you are visiting, are you allowed to stay without visa? So it's always good to check whether you are legally allowed to visit the country you are going to. You need a visa to go to that country. So always before you travel to a certain country, when you sit down and you decide I'm going to this country, it's always to go to check, do I need a visa to visit this country? Some countries you can visit and you can stay, like for example 21 days. Some you can stay within 2 years, but in other countries you need a visa to travel. So it's always good. Check whether you need a work permit to visit that country. Check whether you need a visit visa. Check whether you need like a residence visa to stay in that country. These are the things to consider. Always check before you go. Do I need a visa to visit this country? Because you might end up going to that country, and when you reach upon arrival, you find you need to visa before you enter the country. So it will be like you have wasted your money and you'll be forced to go back to your country. So it's just for no need. So it's always to check before you travel to people's country the requirement you need. Also check your passport. Check the expiring date of your passport. When is your passport going to expire? Is it going to expire anytime soon? So it checks visa and passport is something very important before you travel. And further, in case you're going to work there, it's always good check your health, go to the hospital, check your medical status. At least before you travel to this country, you will be in a point knowing that I'm safe, I'm not sick, I don't have any problem in my body. Because some country they will send you, okay, a contract you will sign, and when you get to that country, the first thing they do, they will take you to the medical, and if you turn up to be like you have negative, you'll be forced to go back home. So it's always good to check your status before you travel to that country. Check your body status. Are you fit to go to that country? The other thing, check your insurance. And some country you might need insurance to cover you up when you get there, in case. I'm not saying when you get the other people country you will go and get sick, but some country you need insurance, and check whether my insurance going to cover me in that country. And if I don't have my insurance is not covering me, what am I required to apply for insurance for the country I'm going to visit? So always check insurance, check your visa, take your passport before you travel to these countries. The other things that you're going to check is your language. Check the language. Language is always something very important, because let's say the country you are traveling, they don't speak your language. So you have at least learn basic things. Learn the basic things. In case you go there, you will have a little bit idea how the people, this word means, and in case at least you have something, something little that you know, because you might end up in country like some country, the documents, they are written in their country. So if you don't even have a basic and you don't know anybody, what will be happen to you? You'll be forced to hire people to help you to translate these things. And in all these things, they're easy. You can use translatorgoogle.com. It might help you, but it's not that perfect. So it's always good to learn something before you travel to the country you're moving. Language barrier is something very important, because you might go to a country and you don't understand each other language, and maybe you're in a certain problem and you need some help. So it's always good to learn some basic things. At least with that small thing, you might help someone, or you might be helping in another way. So the other things that you're going to check is friend and family. So when you're moving to this country you want to move, it's always good to be prepared, be psychologically prepared, because moving to this country, it's sometimes it will take time to make friends. It will take time for you to go back to your country. So just be psychologically prepared, be emotional prepared, because when you move in there and you're not going with your family, sometimes you'll be lonely. You will feel sad, you will feel you miss your family, you will feel you miss maybe your children, so you'll feel you miss your son, you'll feel you miss your family. But it's normal, it's like you have to adapt the life. You have to be psychologically prepared, be emotional prepared. Whenever some situation, you'll be forced to cry because of the way you're missing your family, but it's always be prepared for each and every challenges that you might face when you get to those countries. I say, for example, I miss my family, I miss my son back at home, but it's always patient and be preparing myself. That's things that it's helping me to move in ahead, and to keep every day helping me to grow smaller by smaller. Yes, we miss them, we love them, but at least on the other hand, you need to work. So the reason you're here to work, and maybe to make some money to support your family. So it's always good to be prepared in each and every situation. The other things that you're going to check is religious. It's good to check the religious for the country you're moving to. Check their religions. What are you required in that country? They have your religious in there? And what am I supposed to do during their holy month? How am I supposed to dress myself? So it's always good to do some research before you move into the people's country. Always know their religions, know whatever is required for you, so that when you will go there, at least you'll be in a point to know how to conduct yourself, and how, like, when you get there, at least you'll be in a point to know, I can find a church in this place. For example, if you're Christian, if you're Muslim, you'll be in a point to know where will you be going to worship you. So those are the things to consider before you move into other people's country. Always check their religions, what is required for you to respect their religions. How are these people behaving? How is their culture? Know a little bit about their culture. What is required for you? Because some countries, they have totally different culture. If you move into some countries, like for example your boyfriend and girlfriend, some countries they don't allow you to stay together. Like give example, when I was in Doha, Qatar, people they are not allowed to live together. That is if your boyfriend and girlfriend and you don't have the good document to stay. If you don't have legal documents that you're married, you cannot live together. Not even you cannot visit each other. You can meet on the street, that is fine, but you cannot visit the house of this man and the girl cannot visit your house. So it's always good to know the culture for the people before you travel to those countries and know how these people they are living. So in case those things are things to consider, you can find them in Google, you can find them everywhere. Things required when you get there. If you are moving as a boyfriend and girlfriend, how are we supposed to conduct ourselves when we move into that country? So it's always good to do the research before you move into those people, to others people country, and know what is required for you, know their religions, do what do I need to do to respect their culture. So those are the things to consider. Some things they are very small, some things they are very simple, but they might be so sensitive to some people, to some culture. So it's always good to do the research before you move into people countries, and always know their culture, the way of their religions, and how do they respect their religions. And at least you'll be in a point to know how you should respect their religion as well, if you want other people to respect your religion. And the other thing that you're going to speak, and it's the last one, is about work and school. Some people they are moving to these places with their children. So in case you're moving to this place with your child, it's always good to check how the cost of the study, the cost of living when I'm living there with my child. How much do I have to pay the school fees? Some countries the school must be for free, but some country you need to pay for their school fees. So how much, how will I be able to support my kid when I get to this country? Or what will happen to my kid if I move to this country? Maybe my kid will take long before to go back to school. My kid might take some time before to catch up with other kids. Those are the things to check. At least check the school and how the school they're operating. For example, you might move to a country like they have different curriculums. So at least you'll be in a point to know, when I get to this country, I will take my kid to this school, I will take my child to this school. And work as well. If you're moving to other country to work, know what is required for you. Some company they might take you from home and they'll pay for your transportation, they'll pay for your visa, and when you get to their country, there's somebody to pick you from the airport to take you back to your to take you to the place they are living. Know the way of living. If for example you get a job with hotel industry, mostly in GCC country, most of the company they will give you transportations, they will give you the visa, and somebody will pick you from the airport to the place of living. Most of the company in hospitality industry, most of the staff they are living to it depends with your positions or whatever position you get. So in case you get a junior positions, definitely will be staying two people. In case you get for like a high positions, management position, you can be staying by yourself. It depends with the company. So it's always good to check those things before you move. Most if you're moving to work, the other thing to consider, what is the allowance will I get in if I move into this company? What are the benefits I will get? About the annual leave, how do the annual leave work? Are this company helping me in insurance? Are they covering my insurance? Most of the hotel industry, most of the hospitality industry, they do cover like insurance. They do cover for transportation, for food, and for accommodation, so you don't need to suffer too much. But just keep in mind, whatever like you, the more they offer, the more you get less salary. So it's always good to check yourself before you take a certain offer. In case you're applying for a job in certain country, always is good to read your contract. Read your contract, know whatever you are getting from that company. If you feel it's fine with you, that the time you can sign job, but not just some people send you the contract, you sign without reading it, and when you get there, then they turn up the way you are expecting them to happen. So it's always good, whenever you're moving to work for a certain company and the company send you the contract, always good to read the contract. Know what is required for you, know what the company is offering you, know what the benefit you're getting from this company, and what you are required on the other side. So these are the things that you need to consider before moving into abroad or before moving in overseas. And I hope this video helps somebody. In case you love my video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and see you to the next video. Bye. Thank you.